So here it is, the garage gym video tour. The garage is a mess because we're moving, which is also why I'm making the tour before it gets moved and dismantled, to memorialize it and also to kind of remind myself of what I do and don't like for the next setup. So this is a 2-car garage with probably 12-foot ceilings. I put some overhead storage up. There's a mini split for temperature control, which has been great, but probably overkill. And I also had the garage insulated. I've actually sold a few pieces of equipment too, so there's a little bit less in here than there used to be, but they were things I wasn't using and didn't want to continue to have. Over there you can see I put up a hanger, and I've got a Rogue ab wheel, a Rogue landmine, bar holder there. I'll go touch these things as I'm talking about them. A jump rope. So this is for the landmine attachment, parallel handles, ab wheel. This is the Spud Inc. hanging straps for ab work, hanging leg raises. There's a belt I got for my wife that she uses sometimes. I think there's another belt back there too. Yeah, a Velcro belt that doesn't get much use for me. And there's a hanger down there that I never use. It's for the Matador, so I'll mount it at the next gym. There's a smart speaker that I use out here. I found that although it's more enjoyable with the TV on, it also means workouts take longer and I waste more time. So if I just use music or a podcast, I get more focused and through my workout quicker. Here is a Rogue Matador. I get a lot of use out of that. And I'm standing on a deadlift platform that I built using Alan Thrall's tutorial video. So it's got 3 layers of plywood in the center, 2 on the ends. It's actually in 3 pieces. This is the second one I made, and I discovered it was easier to move around if it wasn't all one piece. And you can also use it for things like deficit deadlifts and block pulls a little easier with that center piece. But it's been great. I just put it up against the wall and use the hooks to run a chain through it, using the handles in between every use. So doing that every time that I want to deadlift has gotten a little old, so I think I'm going to end up bolting the platform to the rack instead of the concrete floor. Here you can see strength core plates from Carolina Fitness. They've been fine. They're plates, not a whole lot to say. And then that is an Ohio stainless steel Rogue Ohio power bar, which I do like. It has a good knurl. Stainless steel for the garage environment. Not so good for front squats or cleans, but that's to be expected with a power bar. Moving over this way, that is an adjustable Rep Fitness bench that I got off of Amazon. That's been pretty good. I don't love it for flat benching, but for incline, dumbbell rows, military press, it's great. It works fine. My wife likes it for the different angle. There are my Iron Master dumbbells. I got the extra long screws and additional weight plates. So I think I've had them up to 100, 105, something like that. They feel great. They feel just like dumbbells. They're not great for supersetting. My wife doesn't love them because when I screw them down, she can't unscrew them to use them. But they work great for me. They're hard to beat for space saving. As you can see, it's just a little platform with all the adjustable weights below it. And they also work on this adjustable kettlebell that I got with the set, which is a nice feature. I have some Captains of Crush grippers there. I think I have a trainer through a 2.5, which I don't think I can close. And then I have some Eleiko change plates that I've had forever. And then I have some grip implement tools here. Pinch block from Iron Mind. Then I have some other pinch blocks and the carabiners from Rogue down there that go with those. I haven't used those much, to be honest. Grenades. I should use these a little bit more. I was having fun with grip stuff and then I just sort of quit worrying about it. So there you go. There are the safeties for my rack that I no longer use, and some leftover horse stall mats that I glued and screwed together. I use those for block pulls, deficits, that kind of thing. They're just handy to have, and they were leftover material. Here is my RB3 rack that I've bolted together and put the strap safeties on, and the strap safeties are amazing. They are much more forgiving when you fail on them, and you can do some other things with them that you can't with pin safeties. You can see I have the SS yoke bar on there. I have all my weights stored on my rack, which I have bumped into the weights at the bottom while benching or box squatting, but very rarely. And a lovely tennis ball in the shop that's for the car to not hit the rack when you're parking. And I can park 2 cars in here when it's not a mess from moving. So I've kept the function of the garage while turning it into a gym, which has been amazing, especially during the pandemic, to just continue on and have an outlet for wellness, well-being. Up there is a TV that I mounted that just runs on a Chromecast, so can play Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, all that fun stuff on that. An earthquake bar, which I kind of regret buying. I probably wouldn't buy it again. Yeah. Anyway, a landmine in the back corner of my RB3 rack. I have the oh man, I'm totally blanking. The pieces of steel for the bands are set up. The band pegs are set up at the bottom. I used those a little bit earlier for some banded planks. Then over here, I have a Rogue bar holder and a bunch of specialty bars and some collars that came with them. I have the Rogue multi-grip bar, which is pretty amazing for your shoulders benching. The Econo Elite FTS Axle Strongman bar, which is great, textured. I've liked an Axle bar for presses and rows. I have a cheap log CFF fit I got off of Amazon that I got for the dual handles, but the wide handles are too wide for me, so I only use the inner handles. And it's a log. It gets the job done. I think it weighs 72 pounds. So yeah, it just gives me some practice with that movement. Then I have the Rogue trap deadlift bar that I kind of got for my wife, but I've used it a good bit too. It's still a deadlift, but it is different in numerous ways. Back there I also have an Elite FDS cambered bar. It's the one in the back left corner. That's pretty versatile and handy. Just a different feel for a lot of things. I have some Rogue Farmers handles here in the middle. See if I can get in here and show those. I discovered they fit into this bar holder after I'd had them for about a year, so sometimes I'm not so bright. Up over here hanging up I have a bunch of belts and a barbell cleaning kit up top and a cheap clock I hung. This is just a Rogue leather belt. This is the set of Rogue handles for use with the Spud Ink pulley, which is here. I got the hamstringer, which I really haven't used much just because the setup is so involved to make it work on my rack. And I have a couple of Spud Ink deadlift belts because I'm right in between a large and an extra large with my midsection, depending on how much I weigh. Then I have a Rogue leather belt back here that I use every time I squat, basically, which is the go-to daily. Have a couple of the dead wedges, which are super handy for deadlifts. An arm blaster that I got for the heck of it. A dip belt. Some different straps. I think I like those these loop straps from Ironmind the most, to be honest. Then a pair of Rogue straps, a pair of Rogue figure 8 straps, which I don't get much use from. And then various bands, some mini bands from Elite, and then so 2 sets of those, and then some green, black, and purple bands. The purple bands don't get much love. I really only use them for a max yoke bar band squat day or two, and that's a different feeling. Then I have a Rogue flat bench hanging there, which is what I use day to day for benching, just because it's a little more stable. It's the right height for the rack, and I can arch on it a little bit more. It just feels more solid. Oh, I have a couple other things in the rack I forgot about. I have the safety spotter arms out front for some pin pressing. It's just hard to do that in the rack with the strap safeties. 2 sets of J cups, and the storage on the side of the rack. So, and I think that's it for this area. Then I have the Elite FTS box, soft padded box. You can use on 3 different sides, and that's been pretty handy for various things, not just box squatting, but Bulgarian split squats, that kind of stuff. I have some combat ropes from Rogue that I attached to this handy dandy bollard here to protect the water heater. Then I have a couple of slam balls, a 15 and a 30. I have some other gear on loan to friends before the pandemic hit that I don't know if it'll make its way back to me, or we'll strike a deal and they'll keep it. Then I have this shelf from Rogue that I got for storage, just to get things up off of the ground. Putting things around your walls on your perimeter is a great way to pack more stuff in efficiently and still be able to get to it. And then I have 2 56-pound kettlebells in the center there, 25-pound, a set of power blocks for the wife because they're much easier to change the weights on and handle in general. I use them now and then, but they're predominantly hers. And I'm going to use this storage shelf a little more efficiently in the next garage. Some knee sleeves from Stoic that are great. Some 12-pound dumbbells. This is for the Spud Inc. cable attachment. I got a one-armed piece, curls, triceps, that kind of thing. A set of knee sleeves or knee wraps from Elite with an order I placed that I haven't used really. Haven't taken them out of the package. This is a soft, let me get in the camera, a soft padded barbell cover. I use that for hip thrusters. Here's some other Stoic sleeves that I don't think fit me. Then I have, I don't know, I think that's a tool for something. A slingshot that I have only used a bit here and there. I probably haven't taken full advantage of that. Some wrist wraps from Elite FTS that have been great. They were free bonus with an order and they were awesome. Some gym chalk here. A bag for the chalk. Some hardware that didn't quite work on the shelf. Some Stoic wrist wraps. Some Stoic elbow sleeves. And then on the bottom here are some sandbags. So I have a 50-pound Rogue feed sack, which is this, which will get you gassed and breathing hard if you want to. A 100-pound Rogue Strongman sandbag, 150-pound Rogue Strongman sandbag, and a 200-pound Ironman sandbag, and they're just piled up there on the bottom. I'll probably rework those a little bit at the new garage gym as well. And then here is just a cheap lat pull down bar that I use with the Spud Inc. pulley system. So that's the garage gym right now. There's a lot of stuff. I sold a Rogue Echo GHD that I wasn't using. It didn't function the way I wanted a GHD to function, where you could stick your knees into it and really work your hamstrings. Just because the box would move and you couldn't set it to the right distance to do that. So I sold that so I wouldn't have to move it. I sold an Elite FTS Econo Prowler that I bought 7 years ago that I'd moved to the house and never moved, just because of the inconvenience of putting it into my car and finding a spot to go use it. And then I sold a Rogue Fat Boy sled that I had over there. Again, I wasn't using it. It made a lot of noise, bothered the neighbors, didn't want to take it to the new house and bothered the new neighbors. So I sold all of that stuff on Facebook Marketplace through a friend. It's been an awesome garage gym. I'll talk about how it started. That's the mini split up there, and I'll just pan around the garage a little bit. Bike storage I put up top, some shelving I put up top, some more shelving I put up top, some attachments for just standard garage stuff I put around. But as I said, when I didn't have all this loose junk here for moving, we still parked 2 cars in here and used it as a gym. And it saved on time, equipment. You had exactly what you wanted when you wanted it, and with the temperature control, it was never too hot or too cold outside. If it was thunderstorming, raining, pandemic, it didn't matter. You could come work out. And I did this before we had our son, as I knew time would be important, and working out at the local YMCA really started to frustrate me. So this has been a even better than I thought it would be.